Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5, the team in Rochester. I am your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined, as always, by SFL CEO Zach Stanley.
The world of free agency is turning, Donald.
What is this?
Well, nothing's really happening.
Is this a soap opera? The world's
yes, as
turns.
free agency turns.
Didn't we actually? I think we had that in March for March Madness as the tournament turns, as coined by Nick Steblenko, who's also here.
Yep, the soap opera continues, and hockey is just sitting pretty.
I'm pretty sure I coined that, actually.
No, you didn't.
No, it was definitely Nick, because I remember him saying that.
Look at him, just trying to take credit for my ideas.
It's all right.
Anything that sounds good, it's probably came out of my mouth.
It's kind of like LeBron. He just tries to take credit for everybody else when everybody else does the work.
Except here on the Star Fantasy League Show, we don't have any kind of decisions. We don't have Zach making a mockery of the show, just talking about where he's going to go for dinner later. Actually, you might end up doing that on the show one time.
Well, I am going to the Outer Lodge at some point.
Of course. For some reason, they're not a sponsor of ours, but you mention them 40 times a day on the show.
It's a great place.
How are they not sponsoring us? How do you not have them here with like a keg every day?
All in due time.
Yeah, they could bring us a keg. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that would be nice. Sponsor our show and bring us a case of your whatever beer you
we can have the Slur Fantasy League show.
Well, we have that anyways.
We do?
Yeah. We used to. This show used to be amateur hour, and now we're professionals. We're changing the show up. We got a new format. We're doing some top news stories right off the bat because, let's be honest, everybody wants to hear the biggest news stories of the day, and yet again, the biggest news story is on a whiny baby named LeBron James.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about me.
The biggest news story is
You're
on
the big baby.
whiny baby named
I thought
Nick?
we were going to talk about the delicious sandwich that I had for lunch.
Oh, really?
He's the Glenn Davis of Star Fantasy Leagues.
Oh, please don't stay at a hotel anytime soon.
Why?
Don't throw phones at people.
I don't throw phones at people, but I may throw a meatball sub at you.
Great. At least it doesn't hurt. Phones hurt. Meatball subs, not so much.
They stain your shirt.
But no, we are talking about the big baby himself, not actual big baby, LeBron James. He's kind of holding up all of free agency still.
Again.
And for some reason, teams just continue to cater only to this one human being.
Why would you say for some reason? There's clearly a reason.
I have to agree with that.
There are – how many teams are in the technical running for him? They probably 4 think they're in the –
Two.
Okay.
It's 2.
I know, but 4 teams probably think they were in the running as of last week.
Yeah, but as of today, there's
As of today, they claim it's down to Miami and Cleveland. But if you know you're kind of not – it shouldn't all be about this one guy. We got Bosch, we got Melo, we got maybe some other middling free agents.
I just think it's hilarious that it's Cleveland and Miami all over again. He's literally dangling Cleveland by the end of the string once again.
LeBron James, no matter what you think of him, is franchise changing. Mm-hmm. He's merchandise changing. He is everything that you want for an organization in terms of what you're going to get. And in comparison to the rest of the league, to me, Carmelo Anthony is like, I don't know.
He's just a scorer.
LeBron's like 3 scoops, and Carmelo's like 1 scoop.
No, Carmelo's
maybe 1.5.
No. Carmelo's the cone.
He's a cone?
He's not even the
Doesn't
not even
the
the ice
cone
cream.
hold the ice cream together?
It's a waffle cone with chocolate drizzle.
Yeah, but it's still.
It holds the ice cream together. He doesn't hold anything together at all.
Okay, but in his analogy, he was saying 3 scoops down to 2, down to 1. But I'm saying he's not even the ice cream. He's the cone. He's the support. He is the support system.
Well, as far as the actual market goes right now for LeBron James, it all makes sense. It really does. I think that the Cavaliers actually, they didn't hurt themselves by what they did today.
I think even what he is doing makes sense. He's waiting to see.
No, I don't agree with that.
You don't think what he's doing makes sense?
No, I think it's a crap move. I just think it's a
cop
cop out.
Regardless.
I think it's a huge cop out once again.
A cop out to what?
Because he has to wait for everybody else to settle. He has to wait for the dust to settle, and then the king will choose his throne. That's not how it goes.
Okay,
That's not how it should go. He's supposed to be the best player in the world.
He wanted Miami to make moves. Pat Riley acknowledged that they needed to make some moves to get better. We've waited throughout this course of early free agency for them to do something.
So he just gets to stick his nose up in the air and say, "Nah, I don't like what you did. I'm going to go over here now."
That's exactly
Yeah,
what
that
so
is what he
crap.
gets to do.
I think that's a Bush League move. I think it's just a baby cop-out move, and it's very befitting of the whiny king.
Well, we have more
Queen. I'm not calling him the king anymore.
Perfect.
He's the queen.
We have more developments to talk about today, specifically surrounding LeBron James, even though these obviously aren't really done for him, but they are done with him in mind. Cleveland Cavaliers are apparently targeting, I can't believe they're doing this, they're targeting Ray Allen and Mike Miller, two guys who have recently played and won championships with Mr. King Braun.
Ray Allen, I can understand.
Why not Mike Miller?
Mike Miller, really?
He was actually
Good for what? 6 points?
He was probably – I think that they would have had a much better they would have at least gotten to 6 games, I would think, in the finals if he was there.
Yeah, I don't know. He's nothing special.
Didn't he?
They can replace
He's
him
an
with
automatic.
Hold on.
He is automatic.
But why is it so stringent on him being there? Why Mike Miller?
Didn't he swing 2 playoff games this year, Mike Miller, by being in there? They couldn't play a couple other guys. He did.
Really?
I
Mike
can't
Miller?
believe you don't
think
respect
there's
Mike
any
Miller.
other player in the entire NBA that could replace Mike Miller?
What does that have to do with
that
it?
didn't-
Why is he the one that they're targeting? And, oh, man, this is going to really bring LeBron here.
I'd rather have Mike –
Kyrie Irving and Andrew Wiggins are not the keys
all
to
right,
that?
all of a sudden in the finals this year, you have Rashard Lewis starting.
Yeah, that's the problem.
This is Miami. You're talking about Miami.
Yeah,
why is Kyrie
but
Irving
you
not
saw it. But you saw what Mike Miller did in Miami.
I don't think it's that special.
You
I don't
just-
think it's anything that's
It's
special.
a vital 3-point shooter. He's
And I think Ray Allen is a good 3-point shooter, too.
and Ray Allen was on the team.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's what I'm
And
saying.
they just
I am
contacted
saying-
Mike
all
Miller
I'm
and Ray
saying-
Allen.
All I'm saying is that I think Ray Allen is a good piece to bring. I think he would bring veteran leadership. I think he would bring spot-up shooting. I think he showed a lot in the finals. I think he was a totally different player than what we've seen in the past year. I think Mike Miller can be replaced easily by anybody. I think Ray Allen's veteran leadership is much
But
more
literally
important.
what happened this year against the Spurs compared to last year against the Spurs, there was at least some factor in the fact that every time LeBron James kicked out the ball, nobody could knock down a shot, and Mike Miller did that all day last year.
We're looking
Ray
at you.
Allen
We're
did
looking
that
at
in
you,
last
Mario
year's finals.
Chalmers. It's Chalmers'
Yes,
fault.
you need both.
All right.
But you don't think the Cavaliers have any other pieces that are similar to Mike Miller?
I think it's a great contact to make, and I don't understand why it matters that they are contacting him.
All right, let's
just don't like
you know what we're spinning our tires here. We have to talk about the reason that we're talking about all these free agents actually being considered for the Cavs is because they made a 3-team trade today to basically free up not only max contract room for LeBron, they also freed up an extra like $3-4 million to go after people like Miller or Allen. So let's talk about this trade. The Celtics are just sitting pretty. They love facilitating trades for other teams in which they just get assets and picks. The trade was basically Jarrett Jack for Marcus Thornton, but the Celtics managed to pick up a 2016 first-round pick from Cleveland. It's protected top 10, so it'll probably be somewhere, if they get LeBron, somewhere in the 20s. Still, it's a first-round pick. They can keep it all the way, I think, until 2019. It becomes unprotected. Great. We also get Marcus Thornton.
We.
Yeah, he didn't say we.
I'm a huge solid. Whatever. That is my team.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I will go with it.
I like it.
Marcus Thornton, scorer, will probably end up being traded in another package, maybe a Kevin Love type deal, looking for some scoring.
Possibly,
and then
yeah.
Tyler Zeller, actually the piece I like a lot in this. He showed that he can play center in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Celtics definitely made out, and I also think that the Cavaliers didn't lose a whole lot. I don't think losing Jarrett Jack is that big of a deal.
No, they want. I mean, it's a steep price to pay to give up a 2016 first-round pick to shed crappy salary.
Wasn't
But
it second round? I
No,
thought it was a
no.
conditional second.
No,
it's
they're
first.
getting. No,
It
they're
was
getting.
first?
They're getting a second.
They're
from,
getting a second from the Celtics, which will end up being
okay, all
nothing.
The Celtics could end up having 8 or 9
Yeah, no,
first-round picks over the next 4 years.
That's beautiful.
If the 76ers make the playoffs this year, they'll get 9.
Yeah,
It's possible.
It's gonna happen.
It is possible.
But I think the Nets are really
East?
the Nets here. They grabbed Jarrett Jack, Sergei Karasev, but what are they doing grabbing Jarrett Jack when they could have spent $1 million more a year and just re-signed Sean Livingston?
I don't know. I mean, It's not. Well, okay, so really it's a replacement here. We're talking about Jarrett Jack replacing Marcus Thornton, right? How is it replacing
They
Livingston?
weren't playing Marcus Thornton on that team. They got
Yeah,
him.
I know. So now they get a player that they can play.
Where'd Livingston go?
Livingston went to Golden State. He's
All
actually
right,
going to
yeah.
end up being their third guard, basically. So Marcus Thornton has nothing to do with this. He was just a piece that was
Okay.
sent
Well,
for
so then they
salaries.
save $1 million, and Jarrett Jack is serviceable. He can come off the bench. He can score. He's not going to win you a championship, but with other pieces in place, it might
but the
happen. And they
Nets-
have old pieces in that.
They
on that
they
team.
almost did replace Marcus Thornton with Jarrett Jack. Almost. Because Marcus Thornton is owed like 8.6
Yeah, it's
this
8
year.
something, yeah.
And what, Jarrett Jack's like
6.3.
so I would take that all day. I think Jarrett Jack is a valuable asset. He's a veteran guy.
With a team full of chock full of veterans.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just the thing. I don't think that they plan on winning a championship this year. I really don't.
All right. How about another team that's not planning to win a championship, or maybe they think they are and they're confused? Michael Jordan's Charlotte Bobcats / Hornets / whatever you want to call them. I don't care. They're from Charlotte. They just signed Gordon
they're the
Hayward.
Hornets now.
I'm calling them the Horn Bobs. I don't know. Gordon Hayward just signed a max deal with MJ's team. We're gonna call them that from now
Okay.
on.
You could have called them the Mick Bobcats earlier, but
The
not anymore.
McBobcats, except he's not. What? Okay, what if LeBron doesn't end up going to Miami? Does McBob just go? Nah, I didn't sign that deal. I didn't agree to that. I'm going back to Charlotte.
It doesn't really matter where he goes in between those two teams, I don't think.
I don't know.
He had a home in Charlotte though. But seriously, let's talk about Hayward real quick. Does he deserve a max contract?
I know this is a lot of money, but he has been improving over the first couple years of his career.
Except this year.
He's 16.2
Okay,
per game
he was
on a
but
bad team.
career lows in shooting percentage and 3-point shooting percentage
All right.
way down.
So now he's going to be playing with Kemba Walker, Al Jefferson, and Cody Zeller. Well, and then some mix of Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, P.J. Harrison, and Gerald Henderson.
General Henderson, I like
General
that.
Henderson, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I think they got a big leg. I think they definitely improved. Definitely improved.
I don't like that he didn't wait to see if LeBron went with Cleveland or not, because if LeBron doesn't go to Cleveland, I think he's a good fit in Cleveland personally.
I just think everybody's obviously got to get to 90% of the cap, right?
Yeah.
But I think what has happened, especially in this free agency, is teams looking at the fact that they're not going to be getting Carmelo Anthony. They're not going to be getting LeBron James. They've got the money to spend, and they've got to make a splash for their fan base, so they're overpaying for these guys.
Yeah, it's funny. Utah said they would give him a $12 million a year extension. He's basically getting $16 million a year. Do they match? I don't think
he's
they
not
do.
a max contract guy.
Yeah, I don't think Utah. They're going in a completely different direction. I just don't think they match this. So congratulations, you're a Charlotte Bob Hornet. Hornet Bob. I don't know. Coming back after the break, it's time for John Old's Mailbag, and you'll listen to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
That is right, loyal listeners of the Star Fantasy League show. All you got to do to be part of John Old's mailbag or send in top stories of the day, although I'm pretty sure we know them. Just tweet us at SFL Show if we missed anything.
Heat tweets.
No, okay. Please do not send us anything to do with the Heat or the Cavs or LeBron, Bron, Queen James.
Even though we'll probably talk about him every day.
That's the sad part. Yeah, off the top of the show, now that we're doing biggest news
And our
items.
lead story is LeBron.
You know what? I'm just going to say
Nick's
free agency.
favorite person.
I'm just going to say free agency.
I think Nick might have more of a distaste for LeBron than me now. I don't know.
I just have a distaste for the way that he presents himself to the world.
Yeah, what about Carmelo? He's being quiet. He's not doing, although his tour was admirable.
No. Now there's a report coming out that Carmelo is waiting for LeBron to sign.
Yeah, I saw. I don't. Let's be honest. Anything with we've talked about this before on the show. Anything with reports or sources or named thing, I don't, because there was a tweet thing going around from an actual source that people believed that was like, oh, Cleveland has a love deal done. It's like, what? Where'd that
Can
come
we just
from?
talk about
Some
hockey?
radio host
Jesus.
said that.
Yeah, I saw that. You know what? We're breaking news here. Kevin Love's actually been traded to StarFantasyLeagues.com. He's in our office. He's making copies for us.
Breaking news.
He hangs signs.
Breaking news: hockey is better
He puts up
than
posters.
basketball.
That's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
He's hanging our posters. He's hanging our signs. He actually hung a painting for me. That was nice of him.
He does it all with a smile, too.
And we paid him absolutely nothing for it. Kevin, we appreciate you doing the job for free for us. Thanks a lot.
What a guy.
All right, let's get right to the mailbag. We had a question from yesterday we didn't get to do, so we're going to do it today. Leo C. writes, Tony Gonzalez, fresh off retirement, called out the NFL for discrimination in the Jimmy Graham position fiasco. Do you agree with the NFL or Tony Gonzalez?
This isn't even a doubt for me.
Yeah.
No. I mean, the NFL is the only league in which players are paid a certain level by positions, which makes no sense whatsoever.
But this is only regarding the franchise tag, correct?
No,
this is in general.
Players at all positions are paid in some weird
Have
scale.
levels.
Yeah, it's really awkward.
Yeah. Go ahead. Look it up, Chief.
All right, fine.
Nick's
but I
making
don't
faces
know if
right
that's
now.
true.
All right.
I don't
well,
think there's a limit to how much you can pay somebody if they're a free agent based on their position. I think it's only with franchise tag. The franchise tag is in place so that the team can retain one of their best players, and then they pay them the 1-year salary of the top player that's being paid in their position. So if it's a tight end, then let's say Tony Gonzalez was still in the league and he's the highest paid tight end that year, then Jimmy Graham would get the same amount of salary as him.
See that even that doesn't make sense though, because Jimmy Graham.
Well, I agree.
Yeah, the whole deal here is over calling him a tight end or a wide receiver, allowing him to get paid
right.
the same
That
amount.
is the thing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just for the franchise tag. It's not for any contract. There's not like there's a limit on any contract given out.
I'm pretty sure there is.
All right, we'll have to verify that. I don't know. Either way, Tony Gonzalez's point in this is that you should be paid based on your production, which is absolutely true. Jimmy Graham is much better than most of the wide receivers in the league, so why should a wide receiver be getting paid way, way more than him?
Most is an understatement. He was 15th in yards last year, 13th in catches, led the league with 16 touchdowns. But keep in mind, he was injured for 2 or 3 of those games and gutted it out. And remember when he only played I forget what game it was. It was like a Sunday or a Monday night game. He actually only played 30% of the snaps and still finished the game with 8 catches, 100-something yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I really think this is clear cut. The NFL slots salaries based on position names instead of by production.
That's why you always see the big contracts going to certain positions like running backs or quarterback. You don't hear of a defensive lineman or something getting these $180 million, except Mario Williams.
And so he's right up there about 10 million, but an elite wide receiver would make between 14 and 16 million.
Yeah, I don't think that's right at all.
So I think it's just absolute ludicrous. And Tony Gonzalez writing an article about this is awesome. Because the same thing, and I mean, he got a huge contract. He got the biggest tight end contract in history. But the same thing did happen to him in a way because
it was nothing. Yeah, it was,
right. They were looking at him in terms of the position, and that's what they're doing to Jimmy Graham. That's why they went to
arbitration.
Yeah, arbitration over this because he was arguing it legitimately. And I think you should be paying players based on their value to your organization. Nothing to do with what their position is. That is something with the owners. That is something with the league. And the NFLPA, I'm not sure how you overlook this. I'm not sure how you see this.
Yeah, I was going to say the arbitration results, I think, were correct, but not fair.
Right. If you are a tight end in the NFL and you're looking at this thing, or your agent is talking to you about this, how do you feel like you are being looked out for by the Players Association when they're not contending this in the CBA?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that needs to be redone, but you're talking about redoing the entire system, which is a bigger issue than just one player. I mean, you really need to talk about, like you said, the Players Association needs to step in. They need to do something about that. Unfortunately, that takes a long time.
But we need to move on here. But to quote a very famous movie, incorrectly, by the way, show him the money. Just show him the money.
Yeah, do it.
Just do it.
What if this is as good as it gets?
Really, Zach?
No good?
No, we're moving on. Colin M. writes, Germany absolutely ran over Brazil in the World Cup semifinal, winning by a score of, this is a typo, right? 7-1? Is that a typo?
That can't be correct.
No? Should Germany be considered the favorite to win it all at this point?
Yes.
We are actually, we're taping this show before the actual Netherlands-Argentina game happens, so we do not know who they'll be playing, but let's just assume that it will be Netherlands.
I mean, regardless, whoever it is, I don't think it matters. They're not going to, blow somebody out, I don't think, like what happened. But even though France played a decent game against them, they handled France. I mean, it wasn't really – they could have put up more goals against France, I think.
I think Germany was a favorite before this game. I don't think this game is like, oh, well, they blew out Brazil. Well, they're definitely the favorites. They were the favorites for me going into the knockout stage.
Yeah, Nick and I were watching this yesterday, and it was just startling the way Brazil was playing defense. It was almost like they came out there thinking that some sort of like the energy of the crowd was going to boost their play, or I don't know what it was.
I think they were like mentally defeated as soon as Neymar got injured.
That could be the case.
Yeah, Neymar's a forward though. I mean, they were not playing any defense.
Once it was
Thiago Silva being out, sort of.
Once it was 3-0, I think they knew that was it, and that caused a couple more goals. But 5 in 29 minutes?
That's startling. Has that ever happened before? That
No.
is a lot of goals.
No, it was tied for the most scored in a half, and definitely not in 29 minutes. I mean, it was just.
And it was the biggest blowout that a host country has ever experienced in the World Cup.
Well, not to mention what Brazil hasn't lost at home, and they said like since
since 1975.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
insane.
It is.
This I would say this poor team, but. No, you don't get that.
No,
I think it's just a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's too bad for them that this. I mean, it's a country that is dealing with a lot of issues, and they really look to this event, even though there were some issues leading up to it. They looked to this event as something that would kind of help them come together, and obviously the players wanted to win it for them, and so in that aspect, it was kind of sad, but a dose of reality.
Germany is loaded. Like, does everybody realize how loaded this team is? They have the player that scored the most World Cup goals in history after yesterday in Miroslav Klose, Toni Kroos, Muller, Philipp Lahm, just so many scorers on that team.
And they each scored 3 goals yesterday, right? They each scored 3 apiece, right?
No.
That was a joke. You named 4 people. There weren't 12 goals.
Yes.
Okay, well, whatever. How they played was so methodical. There were so many times in that game where we were like, oh, he's got a chance at scoring a goal, and then a pass. Oh, he's got a better chance at scoring, and then another pass.
More.
More. And then just right in the empty net.
Yep.
Did you see the end of this game when they were all like hugging? It looked like both teams were just sad at the result. It was just like, we beat you, but we didn't want to beat you like that.
I don't know. They just kept scoring, though. I mean, after 4, you were like, okay, this game's over, and then they scored 5, and then you're like, okay, and then they scored 6, and you're like, is this going to end? Are they going to stop?
I'd like you to give a special congratulations to Julio Cesar for winning the dodgeball championship of Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
did a good job.
He tried really hard to avoid those balls, and he did a good job.
I'd like to give a shout-out to Miroslav Klose, who got the World Cup record for goals yesterday. We were talking about it sitting at the table, and a few minutes later, he puts one in.
You want to give a shout-out to him, though? I mean, he kind of guaranteed that he was going to score that goal against the U.S.
Santa Claus?
You know he did that, right?
I don't care.
I'm just saying. He said it was a guarantee.
The U.S. can take solace in the fact that we gave them their closest game of the World Cup.
Yep.
Good for us, even though they dominated that game.
Well, Ghana tied them.
Did they really?
Yeah, 2-2.
That didn't happen. We're not going to talk about that.
They only scored 1 against us, and that matters.
There you go. That's what I meant, right?
That means something.
That's what I meant. Totally. All right, we're moving
USA.
on.
USA.
Stop it.
So now they're back in. You know that, right? The USA, since that happened, they're back in the tournament.
Yeah, it's
That's
round.
how soccer works.
It's double elimination.
Hey,
right?
we would have done a better job than Brazil, so that's
Sure.
what matters.
All right, we got one more question before we wrap up Giles' mailbag. Kevin D writes, a Yankee fan is suing ESPN and Major League Baseball after he was filmed sleeping during a Red Sox-Yankees game. Does this story qualify as the weirdest lawsuit of the year?
Definitely the biggest joke.
Nope. There was also one. Remember Johnny Manziel got sued for some like fake story. It was clearly like just a hoax. But, yeah,
I've only got 9 words for this.
Hold on. Did you count this beforehand? Is it
Yeah, I was counting
9?
it on my hand, and then I did it again.
I was just checking because that would be funny if it wasn't 9.
Do we even have to talk about this moron?
Yes. I want to say his name, so he's embarrassed. His name is Andrew Robert Rector. He was sleeping during a Red Sox-Yankees game.
Andrew Robert what?
Rector.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Rector damn near
What time
killed
was
her.
this game?
It wasn't just a normal night game.
Okay,
It was
so
like the
it
third-
wasn't
like
even
the third
it wasn't
inning.
even like he was skipping work or said he was somewhere else and got fired. He was
yeah.
just sleeping at a game
So
after work.
And if he was successful in this, then announcers couldn't say anything about fans at all.
Here's the best part. They didn't actually say anything mean, But he claims in his lawsuit, this is an actual quote from what he says from defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. That's what he's claiming. Plaintiff is a fatty cow that needs 2 seats at all time and represents symbol of failure. Yeah, that was weird because it sounded incorrect grammatically because that's how it was written in his lawsuit.
Yep.
It was so grammatically wrong. Just the context. I actually listened to the whole thing. Kruk was having some fun with this guy. He didn't say anything rude. He asked if his friend was going to let him sleep the whole time.
Nick just pulled my shoestring. Jonald, you saw it. I feel like I'm a victim of defamation.
That's
playing a sick prank on me, and I'm suing Nick.
That's not defamation, but good effort, Zach.
If I said that you smelled bad
Yeah.
and that hurt your feelings, then you could sue me.
That's actually slander because it's on the air. It's not written. If it was written, it'd be libel. We're teaching Zach some law today, man. Nick, we should get.
Well, what if he pulls my shoestring and laughs at me?
That's assault.
He's laughing at me.
That's laughing at you.
Well, it's funny.
And then you start laughing at me and making fun of me.
But I enjoy it. I'm on the radio.
gonna
You've
untie
signed
your
up for this. You've
I'm gonna
signed up.
untie your
Don't touch
shoes
my
and make a
shoe.
trip.
All right, coming up, we got all of the breakdown for Major League Baseball on Wednesday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at StarFantasyLeagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League show with Donald, Teddy Bear 2, and the Deucey Moose. Only on the Team.
Welcome back, Teddy, Ducey. It's time for some Major League Baseball. Like we said yesterday, we're switching the show up a little bit. Normally in this segment, we're talking about tomorrow's baseball, but actually, there is a little over an hour until lineups lock for Wednesday baseball on StarFantasyLeagues.com. So we're going to be talking about today's matchups, today's pitchers, today's batters, giving you all of the information you need to make your best lineup on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Unless your name is Nick Steblenko.
Loser.
Why? Because I've won the last, 3, 4?
What? Is he just adding to his total here?
It is. Is it?
Didn't
3?
you are the worst at that. Get out of here. You're like, oh, I'm on a 9-game win streak. I'm just crushing it.
Yeah, but I know I'm being facetious when I say that, though.
Yeah, I'm saying
you
it's
know-
been 3 or 4.
Well, there was no contest yesterday, I'll admit. Seth and I were playing a very hard-fought tennis match, and I just didn't have time to put in a lineup. So.
Oh, okay. So you weren't in the office at all?
That's a
during the day?
loss.
Yeah.
You weren't here during the day at all?
Well-
at your computer?
No.
Studying?
A win's a win and a loss is a loss, but no matter what, you better come with it.
No, you didn't even do your line. You better bring it. You better
yeah.
bring it.
That's true.
All right, so we got to talk about Wednesday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. There are 11 matchups to take a look at, and I believe Stack City is not a thing because I did not find that many stacks that I'm interested in. I saw like basically three or four that I'm interested in. Nick, I'm curious where you're heading first.
Well, I'll bet you are.
Oh, that's a great comment, Nick.
Yeah, that was.
Stop it.
That was top notch.
Stop it. I will break down the knowledge for our listeners. First place that I looked was New York Yankees against Josh Tomlin because Josh Tomlin is not good. He had one good game. That's it. His price is overly inflated. He's at $12,000 right now. He deserves to be somewhere around $9,000. So he could definitely get picked apart. And the Yankees have a number of nice left-handed bats.
Yes, they do. And you know another team that who were you first off? Who are you targeting in that?
Jacoby Ellsbury, Teixeira, Brett Gardner, Brian McCann, all the lefties.
Yeah, I like Brian McCann a lot there, especially at his price, $58.73 on StarFantasyLeagues.com. I feel like at that position, there's going to be a couple other really expensive catchers you can go at. Mesorocco, again, is the guy that's usually at the top of that.
Yep.
You still have Lucroy, who's super expensive. I believe are they playing today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Brewers.
I'm
gotta be
stacking Milwaukee.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Other than those two guys, though, I'm not a big fan of the catchers. I really am. I'm not. Like their price tags, they're just kind of out of their range.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
You can go for McCann for $58.73, or you can spend the money and go for the two guys I just mentioned, Mesorocco or Lucroy.
Totally.
So that's where we're at for catchers on Wednesday. I also like the New York Yankees stack, but somebody I like a lot more than that
Me.
is across the diamond from them. I like the Cleveland Indians against Brandon McCarthy in his first start as a New York Yankee. I think there's going to be some jitters here. Not to mention he's moving from the NL to the AL. He was horrible in the NL. That's not saying much, and he's going up against a pretty good team stacked with lefties again.
Do you think he's going to have jitters similar to Vidal Nuno last night?
I don't even see. What did Vidal end up doing?
7 innings, domination.
Did he really?
He freaking crushed it.
And you picked against him.
No, I only picked Goldschmidt.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
Go figure. You know what? Let's be fair. Last night was one of those nights. There were a lot of weird things that happened. A lot of our picks did horribly.
Like Willie P there, he just got
And
blown apart by Philadelphia.
Teheran got beat up too.
Yeah,
But we got to
Pitcher pick of the night.
Yep. DeGrom was really good. I also went for another value pick, but I honestly don't remember who it is.
DeGrom delivered.
Justin Verlander with the
Terrible.
win.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was one of the ones
You
you
cannot
don't
even count that.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Well, it was
win.
just one inning.
But no, for Wednesday night, I love the Cleveland Indians against Brandon McCarthy making his debut for the Yankees. These numbers are so inflated, they don't even look real. Brantley and Chisenhall have like 414 and above weighted on-base average against righties, and McCarthy is not a strong righty. I am playing both of them 100% and possibly grabbing some value depending on what that lineup looks like when it does come out.
Yeah, I like that. That's solid.
Yeah, right. I mean, you could go for a whole game stack here. Surprisingly, the over/under is not egregious here. It's like 8.5. I honestly thought this would be higher.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say that's pretty right. The Yankees' offense hasn't been that phenomenal this year, and Cleveland they've been great at times, and then they've been so-so at other times.
It's hard to envision a game between the Yankees and Cleveland that would be that high.
Okay, but
just because even with a couple tough pitchers, it's hard to see
tough
them.
pitchers.
No, I mean like in terms of being good.
Oh.
I could see like a 7-4, 7-5 game. Though.
So could I.
I could see a pretty big score.
I mean, 8.5 is what I consider low for this.
I'm just saying,
guys.
I don't think throughout the course of the season in a matchup like this, you're going to see 9.5 or 10.
Okay.
Completely understandable. All right, we got you mentioned those Milwaukee Brewers. They're up against Mr. Fausto himself, Roberto Hernandez, Fausto Carmona III.
Yeah,
Fausto, no.
Yeah, I like a lot of people in the lineup. I like Scooter, Aramis Ramirez, Lucroy. I mean, I think Lucroy is gotta go tonight.
Wait, hold
especially
on.
at the position.
Where was the other Braun last night? Actual Ryan Braun, not LeBron. He was just not playing yesterday.
Ryan Braun?
Ryan Braun.
Oh.
He didn't play last night.
Oh, I don't know. I told you I've kind of faded off of them, so I haven't really.
That's
been
what I'm saying.
watching
I was actually excited to not see him in the lineup because when you're targeting that team, if you put in any of the top 5 hitters in that team, they all killed it. Gennett hit a home run. I think whoever Gomez led off the other night. Surprisingly, Gennett hit in the 2 spot.
Yep.
They all destroyed. Lucroy was great again.
I think this is a better matchup even too. So
Such a
they could
boring
definitely put
name,
up 8
Roberto
or 9.
Hernandez.
Yeah, that's why he was Fausto.
That's his real name.
It's like I know, but it's like John Smith.
Thanks for that. Thanks. Appreciate it.
No?
Ripping on John, huh?
Yeah, but
Well, that's with an H.
Oh yeah,
Not-
that
not
is
your-
true.
yeah.
John with an H is nobody cares about that. Yeah, but I mean, you could do no wrong picking. I mean, if you have a need of short stocks, Segura. I mean, he's not the greatest, but he's also cheap. Just putting anybody in there, you're going to get a chance to have runners on base every time they're up. Pretty much, it's just easy for runs, for hits. It's a great situation.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Hernandez pulled after like 2 or 3 innings. I think
Neither-
they could just blow him up early.
Yeah,
They
neither
really
do I.
could.
Yeah, those are definitely the matchups you want to target if you are putting a full stack on StarFantasyLeagues.com for Wednesday baseball. That's what we're looking for, right?
Yup.
Teams you can just put
Yup.
many people in. Okay, there was one more stack that I saw written down on your rundown, Nick, that I want you to talk about because I am generally confused by this.
What, Cincinnati?
Yes,
Why are you confused?
I'm just confused. Oh no, not Cincinnati.
No?
My apologies. No, against Texas. Texas against
Oh,
Keuchel.
against Texas. Have you seen Dallas Keuchel's last couple of games?
I have seen his last 3 games. They've all been extremely underwhelming, to say the least.
Yeah.
He started off really hot. He's clearly come down to earth. He has a very, very, very good start against this Texas team. Had a complete game shutout against Texas.
While he was pitching well.
Okay.
You got to ride the wave. That's my opinion. And Texas is really good against left-handed pitchers. So if he really is off, then tonight might be a good night to take advantage of that, especially when Rios and Andrews are under 7,000. They're 3. Rios is 3rd and Andrews is 2nd.
But is this a matchup that you're exploiting for GPPs only, or are you putting this in a double up as well? Because I feel like this could be either way. Keuchel could rebound extensively, or he could honestly blow up again. It's nothing in the middle. I don't expect him to pitch 5 innings, two runs.
But you got to look at all the positives that are going for Texas. You know that those hitters are doing really well. It's at home. Keuchel's not pitching well. That's 3 right there. So I mean, and Yu Darvish is on the other side, so you know that they're just going to be fine for the win.
Oh,
there.
so we're all back. We're all back on the Yu Darvish train after
Why?
he.
I wasn't How could you be off the train?
Well, he had 2 or 3 starts out of 5 that were really bad.
But that 19,000 looks really nice right about now.
Yep.
Especially on a night like this. I mean, there's not that many high-end options that are as attractive as him.
Him and Sale.
Yeah, it's him and Sale. Sale just doesn't usually go the kind of – I mean, Darvish is up for a complete game at any time. And we know what – I mean, a complete game shutout, it's very possible that he can do something like that. We've seen it many times before, and the kind of value that adds to your score.
And Houston, they had a period where they were doing okay. They got some batters in there like Springer and
Singleton.
Who's your boy? Singleton,
Yeah.
yep. But now they're just back off. I really think they've kind of cooled right off, and Darvish is ready to take advantage.
Yeah, if you were to tell me that I get Darvish for $700 less than Sale, even in this situation, no-brainer.
Or if you
Wow.
could put both of them in.
That's good.
I'm not doing that.
That'd be extremely difficult to get both of them in. But
well.
you're 100% with Darvish over Sale, Zach.
I am. I'm going.
Really?
Yeah.
Over him?
Over him.
You think?
Yeah.
So you think he's? Wait. Okay. Just because of the price, or because you think he's going to do
Price
better
isn't that
tonight?
big. It's not a big
The
difference.
the price difference isn't big. I'm taking him over him straight up.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
Okay, yeah. So
Fine.
Nick and I are going to disagree with
Fine.
that. I believe
You
Chris
watch
Sale
more strikeouts, more longevity tonight.
Chris
He
Sale
was right last night.
That's true. Chris Sale against our Boston Red Sox. Wow.
Yeah, they're just so bad. They're just so bad. I can't.
They can't even touch.
believe
They
it.
can't touch Scott Carroll, a guy who had like a mid-5s ERA, who just hasn't been pitching well at all.
Yep.
That team just seems hopeless at this point.
Yeah, it's not good. They're talking about trading away relieving pitchers too, like Koji. They're talking about all sorts of players are up for trade, like PV's up for. I don't know. They're just like it's like a fire sale.
We-
They should trade Koji to Detroit.
It's like a Chris
Ooh.
fire sale.
Yeah, it might be. But no, yeah, speaking of Chris Firesale, he's going to be on fire against these Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, there's another complete game shutout potential right there.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't. Boston hasn't been able to score more than 2 runs in an entire game. What's to say they're going to do it against a top
they
5 pitcher in the
Posted
majors?
a bagel on Carroll.
Yeah, I expect this to just be an absolute
Dismantling.
Yeah, it's going to be a destruction. So I don't think you can go wrong picking Darvish or Sale. Personally, I'm going Sale. You can't go wrong picking either of
I
these
think
guys.
you can.
Yeah? You think
Yeah.
you can go wrong?
I don't know. I just don't have as much confidence in Chris Sale over the long term.
Okay. All right. So we talked about 2 pitchers. There are 11 matchups. That means there's 20 other pitchers to talk about. Anybody else have anyone they're interested in or just completely avoiding?
Well, I have 2, but one I really wanted to talk about is Jason Hamill. He's making his debut for the Oakland A's, and the funny thing is that he's pitching in San Francisco tonight. So San Francisco gets to see Jason Hamill in an A's uniform before the Oakland A's fans do.
So
Stop it.
It's basically a home game, except it's against an NL team, which he's probably played
I think
before.
it's funny, okay? It's a joke to me.
It's real to me, damn it.
I don't know. He could do fine. I mean, it's a great park to do it, to pitch in San Francisco, and Giants have been way off, man. I think they had a 9 or 10 game lead in the division.
Yeah, weren't they like 12 games over 500 or 14? I think they were 26-12 at one point.
Yep, and they let the Dodgers crawl right back into it.
Yep, for the second straight season, the Dodgers have come out of nowhere, and they are looking pretty good.
Then the other one was Kyle Loesch against Philadelphia. I know that Willie Peralta had a bad night last night.
Kyle Loesch,
I think
man,
that's an anomaly.
His salary's looking not so hot for me. He's almost at 4. He's at $13,677 on StarFantasy.com. I feel like for a couple thousand less, you can get a lot better value. To be
Like who?
honest, let's see down here.
Giordano Ventura's 12,000.
Yep. Elias
Alfredo
against
Simone.
Minnesota is pretty decent. He's
That's
only
true.
at 11,644. Minnesota again is a team that strikes out high. They don't get many runs.
What about Alfredo? Alfredo Simone against Chicago.
Yeah,
against
he's
the
my
Cubs.
other top guy. I'm probably gonna end up picking him because somebody else will take Chris Sale. I'm sure.
What about my Cobb piece?
No.
All right.
No.
Fine. I think Alex Cobb presents
Simone
decent,
against the
I have
Chicago
decent value
Cubs.
tonight. Alex Cobb.
Okay, you got to pick him for your pitch of the day.
No.
Oh, see? There you go. All right, coming after the break, we are giving you all of our plays of the day for Wednesday baseball on StarFantasy.com. You're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
We are back, and you still have over an hour to get your lineup set on StarFantasyLeagues.com for Wednesday, and we're going to help you by giving you our top plays of the day. We got a top hitter, a top pitcher, a top value play, and we got a stack for you.
Oh, yeah.
We're pretty nice on this show. The whole reason we do this is to give you fantasy value and also talk about sports because we love sports.
It's funky, fresh, baseball-flavored goodness.
That might have been the weirdest thing you've ever said.
I think it's true, don't you?
King Stanislaus and the Funky Bunch.
Ooh,
I like that.
That is nice.
I like that. All right, King Stanislaus and the Funky Bunch, give us your top plays for Wednesday.
All right, I'm going with Jonathan Lucroy as part of my Milwaukee stack.
Man, you just do you read what I have written down every single day?
Well, you read what I had written down today.
No, you actually don't. Do you have LaCroix on here?
Nope.
So there you go then.
All right.
How dare you?
If you don't want me to take Gannett, I'll take.
You can take.
Okay, I'm taking Gannett
Take
for my
whoever you
value at 6,400. And then, as I've said before, I'm going with the whirling Darvish. You Darvish, going to be dominant. My Milwaukee stack once again. It's going to be another killer night for me, especially on the mound as you Darvish takes over, and Chris Sale just doesn't do as much as we thought he was going to do.
So now, you finally seen the light. Brew Crew, I was stacking them every day for about 2 weeks and was doing fine with it. Brew Crew.
Yeah. Nope, don't think so.
Brew Crew Bucks, right?
And the Houston
Crew
Bats haven't been nearly as exciting.
They've been sad.
Yeah. So
I haven't mentioned John Singleton in a while, and there's a reason for that.
Yep.
He's been strikeouty, I'd say. He's
Yep,
striking out a lot.
That's true. My turn?
Yeah, that's
All right.
Do you not know how this show goes?
go.
Well, usually you introduce me, John. Okay.
I do?
I would like you to
Hold
roll
on.
out the red
Ready?
carpet.
Ready?
Welcome to the show, Nick.
Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Okay. My pitcher of the day is going to be Chris Sale.
What a surprise.
Because Chris Sale is going to crush. He's going to be amazing. It's going to be so cool.
So you're picking against Boston.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but they stink. Batter of the day is going to be Mark Teixeira against Josh Tomlin. I love the matchup. I think Tomlin's a good target for a blow-up on any night.
Game stack. I smell a game stack going.
Value play is going to be Brian Pena for Cincinnati. He's filling in for Joey Votto at first base.
I have a feeling that name is Brian, and they just don't know how to spell.
Oh, well, whatever.
Brienne.
What do you mean? It's Brian.
Brian.
Brian. He's a switch hitter, and he's better from the left side of the plate, and he's facing an unproven starter in Beeler. And then stack of the night, the Yanks, I guess.
All right. I like the other side of that game quite a bit. I'm going for Michael Brantley for my batter of the day for Cleveland. Lefty against that terrible, terrible human being, Brandon McCarthy.
He's just a bad person.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. McCarthy coming across the pond. Not really any pond.
I don't think you know how the U.S. works, do you? But I like, honestly, you
Coasting the continental USA.
we talked about a game stack with San Diego, Colorado yesterday. It didn't work out so well for anybody who had anybody in that game.
Actually, I had Franklin Morales, so
Oh, did you really?
that's right.
Impressive.
Yes, I did.
But I'm gonna advocate for an entire New York Yankee Cleveland Indians stack in this game. I like a lot of people. Love Chisenhall. Love Brantley. For pitcher of the day, you took Sale, so I'm going with Alfredo Simon for my pitcher of the day.
Yeah, I like it.
Love
Cubs
him.
stink.
Love him against the little Chicago Tiny Bears. They're playing the Tiny Bears.
They're really bad.
Yeah, they're not good. They
This
don't.
gap is
almost
really
as
getting
bad
closed,
as
you
the
know. Aren't you a little bit nervous?
Down to 2, baby.
He's not nervous.
Not at
I'm
all.
not nervous.
I love Bryce Harper yet again. Come on, Bryce Harper's my man. I got to keep picking him when he's inexpensive.
You know what you should do? You should go with that. Any pitcher except for Sale and Darvish, and I'm going to show you how to get Sale and Darvish in your lineup tonight.
He could easily get a hang of one on Norris.
Yeah, that's why I'm picking him. And then Cleveland. Put in the Cleveland stack.
And
put
he
in the
dropped a
entire game.
little bit.
Whatever.
It's good.
Things happen.
He's at 4,800.
Yeah, I'm okay. Again, don't talk about it. Stop mentioning
Take
it.
him. Everybody take him.
Everybody
Don't be
take
foolish.
him. And better yet, everybody tweet us at SFL Show with your username. You get $5 free on starfantasyleagues.com. It's the best day to get involved with daily fantasy sports in general. Right?
Do we have anything else? Nick, you have something to add here?
Otter.
Okay, really? Are you going to pimp the Otter while people that are hearing this are...
One word.
Oh,
Meet
Otter.
us at the Otter.
No. No.
Why?
No.
Come to my softball game tonight.
Please don't do that. All right, if you guys think that LeBron James is the whiniest baby in the world, you're right. Take it easy, guys.